Biden finds himself in hot water over the bombshell revelations about his son Hunter Biden's connection to shady figures. One America's chief White House correspondent, Chanel Rion, has more.
Wednesday, Republican Senator Ron Johnson's committee released evidence showing severely troubling conflicts of interest in the business dealings of Joe Biden's drug addict son, Hunter. One American News addressed this in the White House briefing room. Chanel.
Thank you, Kaylee. Yesterday, the Senate released an 87-page report on Hunter Biden and Joe Biden's dealings across the borders of Ukraine and with Russia. Specifically, it showed Hunter Biden supporting Russian prostitution, human trafficking, receiving $3.5 million from Moscow. The question here is, does the White House have any intention of helping the DOJ should an investigation be opened up on the Bidens? And number two, do you have a response to Rudy Giuliani yesterday telling us that this should immediately disqualify Joe Biden from his candidacy?
Yeah, that was a very troubling report. I'll leave it to the DOJ as to how they move forward. But I mean, I think this New York Post cover says it all. I heard so much about Russia collusion, but it appears the only collusion going on was between Hunter Biden as he accepted $3.5 million from the wife of the Moscow mayor. Very troubling indeed. More troubling is the Biden's robotic response to this smoking gun. OAN caught up with Seamus Bruner, co-author of Fallout. Bruner says the Russian oligarch connection is just the start of the scandal.
She's actually the richest woman in Russia. She's a billionaire, former mayor of Moscow's widow. Her name's Elena Baturina. This is as corrupt as it gets. An oligarch is wiring $3.5 million into Hunter Biden's accounts while his father is the vice president. This is far more egregious than anything that was in the Mueller investigation or the Crossfire Hurricane investigation. These are direct payments from Russian oligarchs. And it's kind of interesting because one of the questions is, well, what did the Russians get out of this?
Bruner notes a fascinating timeline everyone seems to be forgetting. In March 2009, the Obama-Biden administration strikes all manners of energy deals with Russia, calling their new chapter the Russia Reset, spearheaded by none other than Hillary Clinton.
February 2010, the embassy in Moscow sends a report, circulates it to the top, the State Department and all over, stating that Elena Baturina, this Russian oligarch, is connected to the Russian mob and is involved in organized crime.
Despite this known report, both Hillary Clinton and Joe Biden power through a deal with Elena Baturina called the Skolkovo Project.
Well, she owned the land for, some of your viewers may remember, the Skolkovo Project, which was this technology park modeled after Silicon Valley. Hillary Clinton helped bring all of our tech companies in there and start partnering with Russia. Well, Joe Biden visits Skolkovo and promotes Skolkovo in 2011. It's just a short time after that the mayor of Moscow's wife starts funneling millions of dollars into Hunter Biden's account. So this...
To all this, the Bidens, the Democratic Party, and its media lapdogs frantically demand everyone believe that this is simply old news.
It's absolutely not old news. Working with Peter Schweitzer, John Solomon, and of course OAN has been on the forefront of all of this investigating. This is brand new material, and it comes from Treasury Department records, nonpartisan records called Suspicious Activity Reports, SARS. And there's no real way to spin this.
Chanel Rion, One American News, the White House.
Want to see more videos like
Good morning
this?
to all my fellow
Click on the
Americans.
link below and subscribe to One American News on YouTube. And call your cable provider and kindly demand that One American...
The sad thing about all this is, why aren't they arrested for committing treason? They're accusing Trump. What amazes me, these people are so evil. They accuse Trump of what they are guilty of. They follow the Nazis' determination to a T, because the Goebbels said the same thing. We will accuse those who we are guilty of. Something like that. I'm not sure if I said it right, but it's something like that goes. And the Democrats do the same thing. Pelosi does the same thing. She's guilty of to the max. I mean, to the neck. And no, it's Trump's fault. She went to a salon parlor to fix her hair. When she ordered them closed, it's Trump's fault. She bought a $12,000, I think, refrigerator full of ice cream. Oh, it's Trump's fault. Oh, these people are terrible. I'm telling you. He made a peace deal with the Middle East. No, the Democrats are the one who did it. No, Trump is wrong. No, Trump is agitating. No, Trump is causing a war. And I'm telling you, it's just no way. Before I start, good morning and to all my fellow Americans. And I want to send a salute to all my members of the DAV, fellow members of the DAV, for which I am part of, Chapter 11, and to veterans of all organizations. And let's never forget those who have made the ultimate sacrifice in order to keep this country free, which the terrorists, calling themselves a Democrat Party, wants to destroy. There's some other videos here. I want to show another video here. I mean, Joe Biden, retire. He should do something. At the end of this, my videos, my web streaming, I'm going to show a video. Like I'm going to try always to show a video on what the communists are offering you. Their promise of a paradise, a socialist paradise. I'm going to show you a condition in Cuba. I might show you something from Venezuela. Venezuela is terrible. I think the wage, I was reading today, something like the wage is gone down to $1. $1 a month. Whoever embraces socialism has got to be stupid, retarded, or extremely evil. That's the only way I can see it. Or just they want to ignore. They don't care. Well, that's included stupid, because they don't want to learn. They don't want to learn. So what can I say? Here, let me put this one here. I want you to see here. Try not to laugh about this one, but this one is, it just shows how incredibly deranged Biden is.
Awkward. Joe Biden realized
The first one was from
shut up after the crowd sounds like crickets.
One American
Josh
News, and
Bernstein
this is from Next News
for your
Network.
coverage in the Next News Network. Before we get to that story, folks, if you're new to the channel, please make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell so that you never miss a story. Before I go further, my friend Colin Plume and Noble Gold, they can help you diversify your investments. They frequently update their YouTube channel where Colin's experience and astute knowledge is timely and useful. So what I want you to do right now is head on over to their website and tap that red subscribe button, or you can hit the link in the description box below and start protecting your investments right now. Now, according to Christina Latham for the Gateway Pundit, this was indeed awkward. Dementia Joe emerged from his basement on Wednesday and traveled to Charlotte, North Carolina for his Black Economic Summit. There was no enthusiasm for old Joe, even though his campaign dragged out NBA player Chris Paul. Here's the view from outside of the old Ford plant in Charlotte as Joe Biden was delivering remarks. Tumbleweeds. A handful of people sat in social distancing circles. How pathetic. Dementia Joe actually stopped halfway through his stump speech and asked the reporters if he should shut up and stop rambling. Go ahead and roll this clip.
There's an outfit. I tell you too much, you always stop. Not very good. Just drives me crazy. We're in a situation where if you take a look
outside of the venue as Biden departed. No miles-long lines of supporters cheering and freaking out and saying, "Oh my God, there's President Trump," right? They're not doing that for him. They're not saying, "Oh my goodness, there's Joe Biden." No, they're not. Go ahead and roll this clip. Just tumbleweeds, folks. There is zero support for this candidate. Why?
Okay.
Very simple. He's a liar. He's probably a
We'll go to the next
pedophile.
one.
He's certainly someone that has been in Washington for 47 years.
Well, he wasn't finished yet, but who doesn't know already that he's a pedophile? Well, I'm going to show this one. It's not going to be the last one. It's going to be the next one, and then after that, I'm going to show you the one from Cuba. By the way, the state of Florida, don't forget to vote for Maria Elvira Salazar for Congress. She'll put a stop to the evil intentions, determination of these criminals in the Democrat Party. Joe Biden says he should shut up. The whole DNC should shut up, because every time they speak out, they dig a hole where they're standing. And humongous one too. Or let's put it this way, their own grave. Another thing, Donald Trump, let's see if we can do like we did with Venezuela, where we passed the presidency to Juan Guaido. Let's do the same thing with Cuba. Let's pass it on to Jose Daniel Ferrer Garcia and make him temporary president of the Republic of Cuba until new elections, without communism, without Islamism, without Nazism, without fascism. So let me go to this next video, and you decide. This is from, I believe, from Next News Network. Let me see. Yes, from Next News Network. Get out of Seattle. Listen to this one here.
Get out of the city of Seattle now.
Heard
City
that?
Council overrides mayor's veto to officially begin defunding the police. I'm Josh Bernstein, filling in for Gary Francie in the Next News Network. Before we get to that story, remember, if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell so that you never miss a story.
Before I go further, my friend Colin Plume and Noble Gold, they can help you diversify your investments. They frequently update their YouTube channel where Colin's experience and astute knowledge is timely and useful. So what I want you to do right now is head on over to their website and tap that red subscribe button, or you can hit the link in the description box below and start protecting your investments right now. Now, back to the news.
According to Alan Miller from 100% Fed Up Reports, the Seattle City Council overrode Mayor Jenny Durkin's veto on Tuesday evening and forced through budget cuts that activists say are a, quote, down payment on an effort to defund the police in the city by 50%. In July, a veto-proof majority of council members backed a proposal to defund police by 50%. Those cuts could not be implemented in 1 year, however, so the council settled on cutting 100 officers from the department this year as a, quote, down payment. Mayor Durkin, who had initially backed the Chaz Chop debacle in the summer, vetoed the proposal, but her veto was ineffective. Gonna roll this clip.
Well, the Seattle City Council voting to override Mayor Jenny Durkin's recent veto of police department cuts by a 7-2 vote. This is the mayor is now signaling she might not adhere to all of the provisos that were laid out in the council's proposal. To KTTH radio show host Jason Rantz from Seattle. Jason, I just love your coverage of what's been going on in Seattle, from the good, the bad, and the ugly, to the ridiculous, to the tragic. It's all been happening in Seattle. And in a way, from my perspective, the worst is yet to come, because eventually the council was hoping to cut 50% of the budget of the police force. And then they say, where are the police? Are they serious?
The veto override votes.
I want to stop it right here because this time is running out. There you go. Run away from Seattle. They're imposing communism or socialism, whichever way you want to call it, which has destroyed the city of Seattle, the state of Seattle, excuse me. But I guess people don't want to learn. They keep voting in these Democrats, and what they're doing is destroying themselves forever. I hope not. I hope it doesn't turn out that way. But that's what the people want. You know, you can advise them, you can educate them, and they still want to fall in their own demise. You know, you can't do nothing about it. I'm going to leave with this last video from Cuba to show you what socialism is really all about. What the socialists here in the United States are offering you. So Donald Trump, I always pray for you and your family. God bless you. The same with Mike Pence. May God protect you always, both of you and your families. And I stand with God and Israel eternally, and may God bless our country eternally. So I'll see you guys soon. Have a happy Monday, the start of the week, and I'll see you guys. Bye-bye. Look at the condition of this house. I'm going to try to translate because it's in Spanish. This is from Cuba. Look at the condition of that apartment where a person has to live in. If it was here in the United States, they would lock it up. They said, no, it's unfit for humans to live in. The conditions are too deplorable for habitat. And there you have people living in those conditions. And this isn't a Christmas. And they don't receive a dime from the government. I mean, no help, no nothing, no social services. There's nothing. It all goes to the communists who are traveling. Like Raul Castro's son and Fidel Castro's family too. Mariela Castro, you got Mariela Castro traveling, living in luxury. Raul Castro's son, who they call the Cangrejo. And look at that. Look at the condition of the people there. Look at that. Then you have this organization, which is like the Salvation Army, who call them Paco, which is helping these people out. Look, they gave them a bottle of cooking oil, a pair of shoes. Look, a pair of shoes. It looks like a pair of shoes. They also gave her a bottle, I think it was for refreshment, I saw. Look at the condition of the house, falling apart. And people have to live under these terrible, nightmarish conditions.